Yeah, for sure.
Trying to pump him out. Damn, is that loud for anybody else?
Just no, that's cool with me.
All right. All right. So I'll get it started. What was it, 7?
7.
Okay, let's go. Welcome back to The Baseline, Season 3, Episode 7. We're here with Bryce Washington, Carlos Marshall. Thank you guys for joining us today. So first of all, I just wanted to say thank you. We appreciate it to come out here. So thanks for being here. We're excited to get started.
Hey, man. No, thank you for having us, man.
Yes, sir. Bryce Washington, played 4 years of college ball. Yeah, Louisiana-Lafayette University.
Raging Cajuns.
Yeah. 1,000 points and 1,000 rebounds. God damn.
That's rare.
Really
There's only
balled
like
out.
100-something NCAA players that done
It's not
that.
a lot. It's definitely rare.
That's a serious accomplishment, dude.
Yeah.
For sure. And then after your college career, you started out in Canada. And then you played there for a year. Came out here to Israel, playing for Elitzur Netanya while they were in the second league.
Yeah.
Right? And then you played there for 2 years.
Yeah.
Moved to Galil Ayon, stayed in Israel, played there for another 2 years.
Yeah.
After Israel, went to Japan, Mexico, and then back now on Netanya's first league team.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
There
sir.
you go. Got it right.
Yeah, there you go. And then,
You actually missed a little
oh,
stint
what I missed?
Fill us in.
in Australia.
Australia.
Actually, after I went to Canada, so I actually got cut from my first team in Canada
Okay.
from St. John's Edge. The coach, Doug Plum, he cut me. I went home for a month, with a chip on my shoulder. My good friend, Frank Bartley, who actually plays for Park right now in Greece, who had an amazing year, he called me and said, hey, we need a big to come play for the St. John's Riptide. And I played there. I finished the season there, and I actually left in April, and I went to Australia. I played for the Mackay Meteors in Queensland, Australia, from April to August. I went home for 2 weeks, and then I played for Elitzur Netanya.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's a lot
Across
of flying.
the world.
Yeah.
Over there. Well, we're going to get to it. We want to run
For
through
sure.
it all, but let me introduce you, Carlos, too. Carlos Marshall, Memphis guy. Yeah. So 4 years college ball, Tennessee State, Santa Clara. I love Santa Clara. Steve Nash, right? It's the Steve Nash school.
Nash, yeah.
So we're excited to get started. I mean, there's a lot of talk about, of course, coming here to play pro. But there's something I like to start with at the beginning of every episode. I've been doing it. We got a little bit before the episode started. Just we're here. We want to talk about Israeli basketball, that it's here, that it's a great place to play for guys that have played overseas in general. I mean, we were talking before about how there's the G League and now you can play pro, and that there's a great league here. It's a good place to play, and a lot of the people like to play here, and it's a place you want to come. And then you could try out some other places and then come back because it's a good place to be. So again, thanks for joining us, and I want to get started to kind of take it back a little bit. So we'll bounce. These are open questions. Fill in because it's 2 people whenever you want to jump in. But Carlos, I have a question for you. Memphis guy. Yep. We hear a lot about this kind of Memphis grit, and that's a big part of how players, even when you're playing for the Grizzlies in the NBA, but also when you're carrying with that throughout your career. So tell us a little bit about growing up there, and then how you kind of carry that, or if you do, being from Memphis, and how that feeds you for the rest of your career.
Yeah, being from Memphis, it's like, we already got this underdog mentality. So, it's a prideful city for sure. Everybody has a lot of pride about themselves. Back down from no challenges. But yeah, it's just the knit and grit. Like, it comes from that. Like, so I don't know what too much y'all know about Memphis, but it's a rough city. But it gives you thick skin and makes you go out there and have to show yourself.
So another question about upbringing. Now switching to you, Bryce. You grew up New Orleans area, correct?
Yeah.
So during that time, was that the time of Katrina going on?
Yeah, I was 9 years old.
So you were 9 years old. So how involved were you with your family? Did you guys have to move at all? What was that like?
Yeah, 2005, man. I remember waking up in the middle of the night. Dad woke me up and said, hey, we got to go. Damn. And that was actually the first hurricane that I've actually left in my life. Like, hurricanes is normal. You get your couple cases of water, have your sandwich meat, your bread. The power go out for a couple of days. It's okay. You got your family, you're good, you go outside. But it was just a bad feeling. It was a Category 1 the day before, and in the middle of the night, it switched to Category 5. So we actually said, hey, we have to leave, and we went up to northern Louisiana, to Mansura, Louisiana, where some of my family is from, and it took us literally about an hour drive usually. It took us 24 hours. That's how much traffic it was. And the things that I seen at that young age on a highway, you see people scrambling, upset, crying. You see a lot of things that you really shouldn't see at 9 years old for something that's really not even anybody's fault. It's just a natural disaster. So I went up there to Mansura, Louisiana. It was 14 of us living in a 2-bedroom house. And the next day when you wake up and you saw the levees break and stuff like that, you seen your house in the water. My house had 10 feet of water. So I was actually homeless. So, my dad has some family and friends. We decided, hey, we can't live in a 2-bedroom house with 14 people. So we actually moved to Atlanta, and we stayed in a hotel there. They really accepted us. And we was in a hotel for about 3 months, man. So, I had 2 pair of underwear, 2 pair of socks, 2 pair of shirts, 2 pair of shorts for a really long period of time. And, obviously my parents and my older brother, we try to make the best of it. But at the end of the day, being older now, understanding the situation, man, it was a tough situation, but it actually made me who I am now. I grew up real fast at that moment. So, yeah, I lost everything, man. I was homeless, but it made me who I am today. Everything happened for a reason.
Wow. What, did you move back to New Orleans at any point?
I moved back to New Orleans 2 years later. Okay. So my father actually went back to rebuild our house about 6 months after Katrina. So I was away from my father for about 1.5 years. My brother left because he was started to go on the wrong path. So he wants to be under my dad, so he actually left. So it was only me, my mother, my grandmother in Atlanta. My older brother and my father moved back to New Orleans to rebuild first my great-grandfather's house because it was easier, and then our house. So 2 years later, we moved back to New Orleans and stuff like that. And that's when I started, I believe, 6th grade. So I always tell people my life started in the 6th grade. Because at the end of the day, between when you're born 8, you're just a little kid, you really just run around. But that 9 to 12 area, you start to kind of, going into middle school, you're figuring it out, stuff like that. But that time was very, very strange for me. And there's a lot of people, like, till this day, I always tell people, like, me and Kelly Oubre grew up together. But, when Katrina happened, he moved to Texas and stuff like that. It's a lot of things a lot of what ifs would have happened. And I think maybe, Katrina might have helped him out with his career, being an NBA player, got drafted, stuff like that. And a lot of people went down the wrong path. But, yeah, we moved back 2 years later. And, hey, we just made the best of it and stuff like that. And, you just take what you got, man. You always just tell a story, and that's all you could do.
Did basketball help you through those times?
Actually, I didn't even really play basketball, seriously. I was a baseball player.
Okay.
So I loved baseball at the time. And, my great-grandfather had passed during that time during Katrina, and he kind of really was there for me with baseball and stuff like that. So when he passed, I said, okay, I really don't want to play anymore. Then I switched to basketball, and I was like, okay, cool, let's try it out. I'm playing it for fun. And I just wound up becoming good at it at the end of the day. And, yeah, basketball definitely helped me. I played football also. Just kept my mind off things. It just kept me from really just getting in trouble, fighting and stuff like that. So sports really helped me during that time for sure.
For sure. And then for both of you, being in New Orleans, being in Memphis, what was your middle school, high school life like with AAU, with varsity ball? And can you talk about that a bit?
Okay. 7th grade, I was playing Little League football, and I wanted to play basketball. I didn't start playing basketball until my 8th grade year. And but I was always a football player, and my coach, I ended up transferring to a school called Highland Oaks Middle, and my cousin, he actually went to the school. He used to play there, and the coach, we had like an open gym, and I came one day, and he was like, "Man, you can play." And I was like, "Yeah," but at the time, I was just a rebounder, energy guy, make sure you get guys the ball, run the floor, stuff like that. And he's like, "Bro, you should come to tryouts and, try to come play with us." And I was like, "Fine, let's do it. Like, I'm with it." And I ended up playing, ended up making the team, ended up playing. We had a great season, went 26-0, like won the championship. Probably one of the greatest middle school seasons in Memphis history, in my opinion. Like, it was amazing. Like, we were blowing people out by crazy numbers, like 60, 80, 70. Like, it was bad. Like, but so yeah, I had a few guys on that team introduced me to AAU. At first, we were called like the War Eagles, and then we switched to Team Thad. A lot of people probably know what the AAU team is. And yeah, I played there, and then ended up going to high school, South Wayne High School, played there all my 4 years. I didn't play varsity until the end of my sophomore year. And played AAU for Team Thad throughout that whole time. And just started. But I didn't get good at basketball until like my 10th grade year. Offers started coming in, so I started taking it a little serious. But yeah, I played on the Under Armour circuit. A lot of competition, a lot of guys that you've seen probably some that came on this podcast played in the unarmed circuit. But yeah, that was pretty much. Did that, finished, went to college. I went JUCO first though.
Mm-hmm.
People think I went straight D1, but I went JUCO first. Ended up going to Tennessee State. Then ended up going to Santa Clara. So.
And being a little bit younger than Bryce, you like at your age, AAU, I would say, became much more of a thing than with Bryce. So what would you say was more competitive? What were you more looking forward to, your AAU tournaments or your varsity games playing against maybe like a rival school? And what really took precedence?
I think I liked AAU more as far as, because, AAU got a little bit more freedom and stuff like
Right.
that. Like, obviously, like, I played and I was, one of the guys on my high school team, but you don't get the freedom to just do what you want, the traveling, the trips and stuff like that. So it's just more exciting. And you finish your season with school, then you go straight into the AAU. Like, it was just fun. So I think that. But as far as competition-wise, where I was, see, high school, we was like a top team as far as like for public schools. We wasn't like, like the prep schools that be ranked and stuff, but we ended up getting ranked one year, but we couldn't travel because we were like a small public school and stuff like that.
Right.
But
Who's the big man on the Warriors from Memphis? He played on the
Big.
Warriors.
James Wiseman?
James Wiseman,
James
he's from
Wiseman.
Memphis, right?
He's actually from Nashville. He just went to high school in Memphis.
In Memphis,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Were you playing around that time? Or?
Nah, he came in when I left.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, he came in.
So that process playing there, and we'll get to it with Bryce as well, but when do you start getting these offers, and when you're getting them, who's by your side to kind of help you decide where you're going? And, a lot of guys come in and talk to us, they feel like people are approaching them, but it's hard for them to know who to trust because every coach is like, yo, you're going to be the best player here, it's going to be the best for you. So how do you kind of make that decision and figure out where you're going?
Honestly, it is kind of tricky. It's very tricky because you don't know, and it's it's hard to like trust people right off the back, off their word. But you gotta just go off of track records, see what they've done in the past, see the guys that they've helped, and then try to compare yourself to some of the people that came in and out, and see where you fit in. And but I pretty much make the decisions with my mom. We talk it through. We, lay out all the options, and just really just take a leap of faith and just just go with it. So yeah.
Yeah, and then same question to you, Bryce. I'm curious about of course the high school and AAU circuit, and then how that kind of ends up to your college decision, and a place where you ended up having a huge impact. So what was the kind of what led into that recruitment process, and then making that decision?
Man, like I said, my middle school experience started after Katrina when I got back. But my high school and middle school was together. So I went to St. Augustine High School, which is a prestigious basketball school, black school, Catholic school in New Orleans that, Hollis Price, Kerry Kittles, Quantas White, Eugene Ederson. A lot of players came out of St. Aug, especially in the basketball program. Like, it was always a powerhouse, always. So when I was in 7th grade, your middle school experience, the first words that a teacher told me was, this is not middle school, this is high school. Act like it. So cool. So I didn't have the middle school experience, but I'm glad that I didn't because, again, it made you mature a little bit faster than most people. So once I got to high school, I was on freshman my 9th grade year. But again, I wasn't really, basketball was always just a hobby to me. It wasn't like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm trying to go to college for basketball. No, that was never my goal because I grew up in a very academic household. My mother is a 40-plus year school teacher, principal. My father's accountant. My brother is also now is a school teacher and a coach. So I was always taught, I don't care how good you are in sports, your grades better be right, So when I became a freshman, I didn't play much, but our team was loaded. We won the state championship in New Orleans, 5A, which is the highest. We had, Javon Felix, who went to Texas, Craig Victor, who's right now is playing in Greece and went to Arizona, LSU, myself, Blake Jones, he had wound up getting hurt in college, Saeed London, who was a basketball and football player at Tulane University, Caleb Daniels, he came later on, and he played for the G League for Heat right now. Like we had great players. I didn't really play that much my freshman year, but my sophomore year, I started to play a little bit more. You started to, fill out your body and stuff like that. And we was good. At the end of my freshman year, we was ranked, I think, top 30 in the country. My sophomore year, we became on the big circuit. We went to South Carolina to whatever that tournament is. I really don't know, but it was all the top teams in high school. Like I said, I didn't pay attention. I didn't know, but that was the first time when I saw Coach K, Roy Williams, Bill Self, because now at that tournament, you saw the number one player in the country at the time, which was Shabazz Muhammad. You saw the number one player in my class was Jaleel Okafor, Justin Winslow. Like, you see all these players, and again, I don't know who these kids are. I really don't, because I'm just like, bro, I'm just playing basketball at the end of the day. So we all in a hotel together, we talking to people, everybody's good people, stuff like that. I didn't realize how good players really was until that tournament. Once I played against Julius Randle, I was like, okay, it's levels. I said, there's really levels to this, because we played against Julius Randle. The school was PCA from Dallas. It was him, Mickey Mitchell, and 7 other guys who was going D1. And, it was crazy. But again, we had a mindset of we good too. We beat them by 40.
Hey, let's go.
Beat them by 40. Like, it wasn't close. Beat them by 40. But then the next game we played a team called Long Peak. And I don't know the guy. He went to BYU. It was after Jimmy Fredette. He went to BYU. Great player. I forgot him. Totally different team. Shoot the cover off the ball. The whole team. They beat us by 30. And that's just what it was and stuff like that. But, we wound up being great. And that's when we became a top 10 team in the country after that tournament. We got cocky. Went to state championship again. Lost. Junior year, those guys went to college. So now it's my turn. So now I start to see the letters coming in for colleges. Start to get D1 offers, a lot of mid-majors and stuff like that. I'm starting to fill myself out. But again, I'm like, okay, cool. If I go to play basketball, I play basketball. But again, Miles always told me, grades ain't right, you ain't playing. I don't care who you is. If any coach got a problem with him, tell him, call me, come see me. And like I said, my mom is my rock, and she ain't a small woman. My mom's 6 foot. So it ain't no, oh, yeah, nah, my mom going, you feel me? So cool. But junior year, went to Final Four again, lost in the Final Four. Then my senior year, I really started to take over. I said, okay, I actually am good at this. And in the recruiting process, I always had 3 things. Number 1, it has to feel like family to me. That was my number 1 goal. Number 2, will I play immediately? And then number 3, I had to get a good education because my mom always taught me. I graduated high school as salutatorian. I was number 2 in my class. Me and Mom's proud. That was a big accomplishment for me. And when Bob Marlin and really Kevin Johnson, which recruited me at University of Louisiana-Lafayette, felt like home. It wasn't too far, but it was far enough away from my people.
Was it important for you to play immediately?
Yes, it was, because, like I said, I've always played, and it's like, okay, and again, I really didn't know what I know now. Like, oh, maybe sometimes it's good to sit back, but me, I catch on pretty fast. So even I feel like wherever I wanted to go, I was going to find a way on the court, just because the way I play. And, Lafayette was just, I think it was a great fit for me, and I didn't start immediately, but I learned a lot, and, hey, it's like, okay, cool. I starting when conference came. I was co-freshman of the year of Louisiana and stuff like that, and, the second year, Sean Long, I give a lot of credit to him. He taught me a lot, man. Sean Long, till this day, is the best player I've ever played with or played against. And I always tell him, I always mess with him, like, bro, you still should be in the NBA right now. But that's a story for another day. But that's my guy, and he taught me, and he's honestly the reason why I'm a 1,000 player. He really taught me how to rebound. And he taught me how to get cheap points and become that player. And, again, he's number 1 in school history. I'm number 2. And me and him, we still think it's thieves to this day. So,
right, and you go to Louisiana and you get what you said you wanted to play immediately. You played 23 minutes a game, right? 36 games. And I see throughout your 4 years, you're having at least 33 games a season. Mm-hmm. So in terms of longevity, you definitely have that. And what would you say your experience at Louisiana-Lafayette in 2014, 2018 was like compared to maybe Carlos, who played in 2020 to 2019 to 2024, where it's like you have the NIL now, right? It's a completely different ball game. So I kind of am interested to hear, as someone who wasn't in that process and as someone who was and actually entered in that transfer portal and ended up moving to Santa Clara, what are the differences that you guys noticed from each other? And I'm sure you guys probably talked about this before.
Sure. I want some of the money he got. I want some of the money he got. But man, I'm happy for him personally. Like me personally, I'm glad these kids getting paid. You know, that's always one thing I've always taught. It's a business going in, but I didn't realize what type of business it is until I walked into my head coach's house and I saw how big his house was, and we living in the dorms eating cafeteria food when he has a pool, basically indoor pool. And I'm like, man, we the ones getting killed out there. And it's no knock to him. You know, Coach Marley always took care of us, stuff like that. But it's like, man, we deserve this. Our hard work, we deserve it. And when, you know, the kids now, especially, they getting paid all this money, man, I'm loving it. I do. I really, really love it. Yes. Do I wish I could get a piece of that? 100%. But I'm glad, because sometimes not generation, but years before, you have to make that sacrifice for the kids that's coming after you, and not the kid, but man, I'm glad they got paid. Him, Kyler, all of them, man. I'm happy for them personally.
Carlos, what do you think about the whole NIL process?
I'm glad I caught it, and I wish I could still do more. It was fun though. My first time like experiencing it was at Tennessee State. Had some merch and, you know, a couple of deals on the side, but it was good though. It was, you know, love seeing that check come in every month, so it was good. I think college athletes definitely deserve it. You know, years of, you know, revenue has been bringing in attention, you know, to the school. So yeah.
Did they tell you at Tennessee State when you were there as part of the kind of recruiting process that, hey, if you come, this is what we can do for you?
I was already at Tennessee State, and then NIL came, you know. So
did they say anything like it's gonna happen? Were they notifying the players like, oh, you guys might start getting deals going on?
Yeah, see, they was teasing us for about 2 years. For about 2 years, man, they was teasing us, and you know, I think was it 20 after COVID?
Right, 2021.
Yeah, they came back and they was like.
And then you entered the transfer portal. You went to Santa Clara. Did you get hurt? You played 3 games that year.
Yeah, I tore my labrum in my shoulder. Yeah, I only played 3 games that year.
I got you. And then the next year you played 28 games, averaged 13 points, 4 rebounds. What was that year like? And how did you kind of transition from Tennessee State to going to Santa Clara?
Well, and also, if I can, was that a reason for the transfer with the NIL and what they told you when you were going to that school?
Honestly, no. I really just wanted a new start somewhere else. I needed to, you know, I'm from Tennessee, Nashville. It's where Tennessee State was. It's like 3 hours away from Memphis. So it's like I just wanted another scenery. I got 1 more year left. You know, NIL was going on. I'm not gonna act like it was a thought, but you know, it was. I liked Santa Clara too. Like once I entered the portal, they was the first school that like really reached out that I liked, and they were, you know, committed, hitting me up every day. You know, they was very like persistent with their approach, and. So yeah, that was pretty much my decision in going to Santa Clara. But what was the other?
No, just the transition from Tennessee State.
Yeah, it's different because, you know, Tennessee State was an HBCU.
Okay.
And, you know, Santa Clara, you know, that's the West Coast Conference. It's, you know, it's just a different
brand of ball.
Different brand of ball.
Two totally different things.
Two totally different things.
So man. I also wanna bring to the table, like you're saying, like, love it that the players are getting paid, right? Like you go to your coach's house, you see he's getting all this whatnot, and like you're here playing ball in your dorm, going to cafeteria food. But at what point does it become too much where a guy is not going to play unless he gets $2 million for a year, and then he might play, make hundreds of thousands of dollars, and then have to go to the G League, get paid way less, and not even consider playing in Europe and overseas for less money?
See, comparison is the thief of joy.
Right.
We always say that. Comparison is the thief of joy. And, you know, these kids, don't get me wrong, go get that bag. Go get your money. However, again, the basketball gonna stop one day. And do you really love it, or you just want the money? I mean, it's okay, like whatever you want to do, and I'm all for whatever decision you're willing to make. I'm all for it. Now, with the sitting out stuff, okay, if that's a chance, and that's when influences come into the play. Like at the end of the day, these kids are still 18, 19 years old. They not even really young adults yet at the end of the day. So, you're going to need your parents involved, brother, sister, and the ages at the end of the day, age is getting cut. So, I mean, if I'm an agent, I'm going to tell the kid, hey, man, maybe I could get you this, maybe not, but that's a risk. See, right now, kids don't know the risk to reward ratio. You don't know how good you really are. Your worth is only of what somebody's offering you. And that is the true statement. Like, you might think you are a $2 million player, but schools might think you're a $700K player. And you might think, I'm not getting my worth. Your worth is what they're offering you at the end of the day. Now, can you get better and get more? 100%. But are you willing to take that risk to ruin a career like the quarterback from Tennessee?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I already know. The quarterback from Tennessee, like, yeah, you're a great player. I love him. I love football. I probably watch more football than basketball, honestly. I love football. Great player. What can't you buy at $2 million that you wanted $4 million?
Right.
In a state with no state tax.
Clutch.
In a state with no state tax. Like, that's just me. And again, do I think he might deserve more money? Yeah, but if he stayed at Tennessee, I guarantee if he had the same year that he had this year, that he did last year, I guarantee he probably got $4 million his junior year. Mm-hmm. He would have probably been a top 5 pick.
And NFL money.
Your first contract going to be $60 million off the endorsements, because now it's like, okay, you did this, and, it's all about connections. Somebody going to probably look out for you. Them endorsements, like, everybody don't know. You still have to you never burn bridges. And sometimes it won't be, what you want to. But that's a maturity that I think some of these kids don't have. But however, hey, I think it's the people around them, honestly, man. So that's just my opinion.
There's a lot of people in their ears and stuff. But what do you think about the fact that the 8th man on the bench is still making 6 figures, and then that's going to take away from, like, coming here and, like, maybe making not as much money?
Right. Yeah, we were talking about it the other day. I wanted to bring up. It's like, I think what you mentioned about, like, do you really love the game is important when you kind of move to that level, because you could be playing at a D1 school and making a lot of money to sit on the bench, and then it's like, for the guys who have been playing before NIL, these couple $100,000 contracts that you can get in the Euro League were way more attractive in the G League. But now, when you could be making so much money in D1, then it comes, do you really love the game? Because are you willing to come here where it's considered good pay and still make less than you were making in college? So that's kind of my question of, is the future of kind of overseas a little bit cooked because you have these guys, and maybe it'll be harder because they'll have to take less money, but on the other side, they're the ones who are really going to love the game anyway.
I don't think it's cooked. However, I do think that Europe needs to start making some changes and putting more money into these leagues, because, again, these are great players. And as you see, we talked about it earlier, we see the transition is more production, more. And once that happens, I believe more money will come into the near future, because now they are going to have to compete with colleges. Because if I'm 22 years old and I'm making $700K, and then in Europe it's $100K, I will stay that one more year in college personally, because if I'm good enough, I'm going to still get that deal at the end of the day. But money is always going to be the name of the game. Mm-hmm. And now, granted, anything can happen to it. Like I said, the risk. You may get injured. You may this and that. Like, you never really know. But again, it comes with the people around you. What do you really want? My brother always told me, at the end of the day, this is your life. You have to live it. At the end of the day, whatever I tell you, it don't matter. This is your life. You have to live it. Mm-hmm. That's just my opinion.
Right. I see. So, well, kind of moving back for a second, Carlos, I'm curious. We said that you had that injury and you had to, be out for a bunch of games when you were there in university. So, I like to ask guys how you can kind of get through something like that mentally. I mean, it's got to be really hard. You're sitting out for a whole year, especially in a new place where you just transferred. You probably want to show them what you got and what you can do. So tell us a little bit about that. Was it a tough time for you having to sit and tell us about it?
Yeah, it was tough. It was very tough, man. Sitting out the whole year, I wanted to play. We had a good team. Like, we had Brandon Pajemski on that team. Golden State Warriors. Shout out to B. He's
playing pretty well.
He's doing good. He's doing good.
Nice.
But yeah, he just texts me every day like, "Come on, bro. Like, I need you, bro. I need you." But I'm like, had to make sure my health is up to par first before I can come out here and play with you. But it was I missed that season. I got my guy Jordan Williams, man. If he helped me a lot, and Keyshawn Davis too. Keyshawn Justice. My bad. Keyshawn Justice. He, them guys helped me a lot. Like the down days, like they come talk to me, kick it, play some video games, just to get my mind off everything. So those guys helped me a lot. So
what was the rehab like there?
It was good. It was amazing. Like Santa Clara, we had the best resources that you could find. Like Santa Clara, they have everything. Like my rehab. Shout out to Elizabeth. She helped me a lot. She used to challenge me a lot too, but she was good. She was real good.
So continue.
Then you had your senior year at Santa Clara. At what point are you thinking about the next step? Coming out to Israel for your first year. Are you talking to Bryce about it? What's going on then?
About 30 years old. 8 years.
Man, it was stressful, man, because I didn't know like how it was gonna look. I didn't obviously I had thoughts of I maybe got to go overseas one day, but it wasn't like certain on where I'm gonna go. I don't have too much knowledge of like overseas basketball, so it was just my mind was all over the place, and had an agent help me out. I didn't know Bryce at the time. I met Bryce here. He came actually too late. But
is the agent the same one that you have in college?
It can be.
That's a great question.
It can be. Because some agencies also do NIL representation too. So you can have an agent for both things, but mine was just I signed after the season.
Where, at what point did Israel come up? You signed at a pretty interesting time to come to Israel.
Yeah.
What's going on in your ears? What's your mom telling you?
It was late. Everybody was like pretty much people leave around September.
Right.
I got the call on a Tuesday. You gotta be over here in 2 days. Got a job for you in Israel. They want you to hurry up and come out. But luckily one of my flights got delayed, so I had an extra day to say bye to family and stuff like that. But it was a quick decision. Like my agent hit me up, like, I got this job in Israel for you. How you like this? Woo woo. These are the numbers. This what they, So.
Did you hear about Israel beforehand?
No. I knew nothing of Israel.
You're hearing about all this shit with the Palestine, the conflict and everything.
Yeah.
What's going on in your mind? What are people telling you? Are there guys maybe that played in Israel or your agent even that are telling you nah, it's good. It's a good time there.
We heard about the war and stuff. But honestly, I didn't care about the war at all. It was where I'm from, stuff like that, it's not really that scary, to be honest. But it was everybody telling me, bro, you be careful over there. They got the war going on, it's sirens going on. You might have to wake up and sleep. Bro, it's like Call of Duty over there.
Yet you're going to the beach instead of even hopping on a podcast.
And now that I'm here, I'm like, bro, this place is amazing, bro. The weather is nice. This place reminds me of California a lot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. Especially the Bay Area, it reminds me a lot of the beaches and stuff. Being here actually made me become a beach guy. I actually like going to the beach now. I never was a beach guy.
There are no beaches in Memphis.
No beaches in Memphis. Far from Memphis, for sure.
So that transition to being overseas is so hard, and that's what we talk about all the time. And so for you, that first time that you had to transition, and I'm curious for you as well. What's that like when you kind of realize that oh shit, I'm really far away from my whole life and everything I had before, and maybe signing that contract and it's exciting, but that first kind of understanding when you're alone and you're here is that's the hard part, and that's the one place where really people struggle. So I want to hear from both of you. Got that for those first kind of reactions and knowing, maybe it's nice sometimes, but it's tough being far away from everything.
I think the moment it hit me was in the airport when I left my mom. Man, see, it's crazy because we're not really criers in our family. Man, I walked away from my mom. I turned around. She started crying. I just started crying, boo, crying, and they was just wow, I'm really about to, go far away, and all the work that you put in is just it's surreal in that moment, and but I was excited though. I was excited for sure.
Man, for me, so I had won abroad trip in college. My junior year and my senior year. My junior year, I had a chance to go to New Zealand. And with me being New Zealand, nothing about it, but it was basically like a mission trip, but you play basketball. So I went the furthest that you can go. Literally, New Zealand, people always say, what's the longest flight, bro? New Zealand, that was literally a 16-hour flight. Like, it was crazy, but it was so different, but beautiful. I'm a guy that's like, you know, went through my childhood stuff with Trina. I'm like, man, I'm trying to see the world. Why not? So that was cool, you know, just to start off. Then I went to Cuba, which that's how I know my guy Rivero from Maccabi. So it's crazy because we got a picture. I sent it to him when I seen it. I said, you don't even remember me. He said, nah, what you mean? I said, bro, in 2018, we played the Cuban national team. I remember you because they were saying, bro, you the guy. And we played against each other. I showed him a picture. His eyes lit up. He said, oh, that's it. I said, yeah, bro, it's crazy. 7 years ago. I said, he's like, yeah. So even on the court, we played against each other. We talked about it. You know, talked about the salsa dance and stuff like that. And
He's a funny dude.
Bro, I love him, man. He's still the same person. He's the same person. And then when I came, when I went to Canada, you know, that was easy for me. Like Canada, and then I'm with my college roommate, my frat brother. Like that was easy for me at the end of the day. But when I went to Australia, okay, cool, it's a little bit different. And then I went to Israel. So now it's like, okay, I was only home for 2 weeks in between the years of 2019 and 2020. I was home for 2 weeks. But I knew my goal. I had to grind it out, stuff like that, man. And I always tell people, I say, man, when you're overseas, man, it's between you and God, man. Mm-hmm. It's between you and God. That's it. Like, yeah, you got your teammates, you got your players, you can do some stuff. But when it's alone at night, it's between you and God at the end of the day. And with me, man, I think my faith has grown a lot and stuff like that. And I always say that, like, you know, God put me in situations for a reason because I always say basketball is what I do, it's not who I am. And I'm glad, man, like just me being here, man, I love it. People always say, man, you know, you half Israeli now. You've been here so long. I said, yeah, man, you're right. But, man, I love it. But like he said, man, once you get to the airport, man, you leave your family. You know, I got a little niece, little nephew. Man, it's just a different feeling, man. It never not hurts. Once you look and then you see your mom taking your picture and stuff like that, man, it never not hurts no matter how old you get. It's like, man, like, but that's just life, man. You know, you just grow at the end of the day, and then your parents are just so happy because it's like, man, you becoming an adult. Like, you're doing what you want to do, what you love to do. You know, your parents did their job, so I always get them credit for it, man. But I'm glad for these experiences, man. Being a 7-year pro, almost the end of my 7th year, a lot of people can't say that.
Yeah, it's a blessing for sure.
Tell us about Japan a little bit. I'm curious about what the league's like over there. And, you know, you say you play in Australia and Canada. These are like English-speaking countries, but then all of a sudden you're in Israel. But Japan, like...
Fukuoka.
Yeah, Fukuoka.
Fukuoka,
yeah.
Fukuoka.
Man, lifestyle is amazing. Lifestyle is crazy. I loved it, man. Does people speak English? No, not really. Not really. Google Translate. I could just put my phone over, wrapped around a loop, put it on my chest with Google Translate, man. Just, hey, we gonna speak tough. But the people are so nice. That's the cleanest place I've ever been to in my life. I did not see a piece of trash on the ground for 6 months. It was amazing. And with me, so our apartment was really nice too. And how my apartment was set up, you have a tub, and then like the shower head is not above the tub, it's to the right. And then it's like a digital thermostat on the wall, you know, with the heated water and stuff like that. So my first week, I'm like, how am I going to take a shower? Because the shower head is here, the tub here. So I'm trying to angle it. So I wound up calling my translator one day. I said, hey, like, why is this built like this? Because, man, the water getting on the floor. He's like, B, the whole room is the shower. I said, what do you mean? He said, let the water hit the floor. It's a drain that goes under for a week straight. I'm putting towels on the ground because I don't want, you know, the water hit the floor. You know, you already know you're at home, you know, mom's water hit the floor, you don't clean it up. Yeah, you cook. So me, I'm putting towels on the ground. I said, no, B, the whole shower. And it was a nice size bathroom. Like, no, the whole thing is a shower. So I said, oh, man, this is the coolest thing ever. And, man, just the food was great. The people was great. The league is cool, man. You know, you play against great players. Like, you know, it's only 3 foreigners. The national players, they don't get enough credit. They're actually, like, really good players and stuff like that. It's not as competitive as Europe. Like, Europe is very, very competitive. But, man, the fans love you. They know how to market players. like everybody is so nice and stuff like that.
You
like
got the point guard on the Grizzlies, the little dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, he's a superstar out there. A superstar.
Was he playing in the league when you were there?
So no, he got drafted this year. So once I finished Japan, he got drafted. He was at Nebraska, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he was.
Yes, he was at Nebraska. Superstar.
Yeah.
Him and then
Rui,
obviously. Then Josh Hawkinson got the Japanese passport. He went to Washington State, and the only reason why I know him because my old point guard at Galil, Icarebo, that was his roommate. So again, superstar. He's on reality TV shows out there, sitcom. Like, it's crazy. Like, they really love basketball out there, man. Like, basketball and baseball are definitely the two sports in Japan. And, man, it's all love, man. Like, definitely, I see why when people go there, they don't leave. I really do.
Right.
So
That's
going back to like living overseas, John D just came on and he was like, the big difference between the players that end up performing well on court and the guys that perform not as good as they did in America is when they realize that they live in that country for those
culture.
10 months
Yeah.
out of the year. They're not here for work, right? They are at the end of the day, but when you live off the court, you perform on the court, right? And it seems like you did that very well in your first year in Israel. You averaged damn near a double-double with 18 points, 18 and a half points. Next year, 19 and 11, right? And through college, you also averaged a double-double. So also, like, even this year in Galil, Leon, and Carlos, you averaged 15 points with Netanya this year. Is there something about the league here in Israel on the court and then also off the court, playing in Israel rather than Japan, Mexico, Canada, that is so good for the players, that really makes you comfortable to play on the court with your team?
I think here in Israel, because like, I don't, obviously I haven't been to a lot of places, but this has got to be top for like most American type style. Like, people speak English here. The food is, is amazing. Weather is good. So I think being in Israel is like, even the nightlife is fun. People, there's a lot of stuff you can do out here. And, Tel Aviv is Tel Aviv. But but yeah, I think it make you like very comfortable to come play out here for sure, because it's just a home felt type of place.
Nah, I agree, man. Like, I've always felt that home personally, and I remember another great advice that somebody gave me. I don't know I'm pretty sure you guys know what this is. Augustin Rubin. Augustin Rubin plays in, I believe, Dubai right now, but he was in EuroLeague for a couple of years for Bayern Munich in Germany. So he played in our conference. He left when I came in. If you look up the Sunbelt stats, you're going to see Sean Long, Augustin Rubin, me. So I actually hit him up one day. I said, hey, you've been a great pro. I think this was his 5th year when I was my first year. I said, hey, I just need some advice. Like, what's some advice? He told me, you make your overseas career the way you want it to be. Do not be closed-minded. Embrace the culture and enjoy it. And that was the best advice that I got. And ever since, when he told me the word, I don't even know if he remembers this, but when this podcast come out, I'm definitely gonna send it to him. But man, he gave me one of the best advice when I came out of college in 2018. I'm telling you. And ever since then, I always I told him the same thing. Just embrace it. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be ups. It's gonna be downs. But just embrace it. Enjoy everything about it. Not just basketball. Because at the end of the day, again, I'm going to keep saying this, basketball is what we do. That's not who we are. So that's what I think.
Yeah, also gives a great opportunity for you to travel, to be all over the world, and to experience that. And just that culture and that perspective is like something that's lacking, as we said before. Like the thing that can scare people about coming over is that things are uncomfortable. But the guys that we have on this show are just like, if you are okay with being uncomfortable for just a little bit, so you can adjust to wherever you are, then all of a sudden it becomes a lot more comfortable, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see that.
Do you guys have anything that you think might be missing from culture, from things that you guys practice right once every day, right? And you practice for an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Depends on the day.
Depends on the day. But like, you have that one practice and then you're off for the rest of the day, right? You might treat your body, go do some stretching and whatnot. But like, are there things that might be missing here that you would want that like you can go get in America?
For me, just like access to gyms. That's the biggest thing for me. Like the extra work, I love doing it. Like getting up early or late at night, get some shots up. You know, just bored, don't feel like, you know, got nothing to do, go to the gym, bro. Like, I just wish we had like full access to the gyms. It'd be better.
What's it like
for me?
For the access?
Here?
Yeah. Practice that's it?
Once a day. Practice once a day, get it in early or before. before or after. I mean, that's it.
It depends on the team. I will say that because I've had when I was in Galileo, we had access to a lot. So it really just depends on the team on that aspect. What I would say, man, family. Mm-hmm. That's the only thing. Like if you could have your family out here, you know, not even saying every day. Like if it was, you know, we could teleport. You know, you see your family once every 2 weeks. Man, we at the crib, man. We at home. Cause like I said, they got everything food wise. You got activities you want to do. Like Carlos said, nightlife, what you want to do. The weather's great. Like whatever you need here, they literally have everything. You feel me? So it's like I think family is probably the only thing, but it's always sacrifice. No matter what you do in life, it's gonna be some sacrifice. So that's all I say to family.
Do you feel a sense of community here within the team, within other foreigners that play here?
Yeah, for sure. We all know each other. We all talk to each other, you know, stuff like that. So that's the good part about it. And, you know, to have that, I guess, kind of family oriented about, you know, mainly all the players, and, you know, we could just have a conversation, just talk. You know, it's good. So,
right.
Yeah, I like it.
At the end of the day, it's a small country, so
it's like an unspoken relationship. Like,
basically.
We good.
I like that.
Basically.
So I have a question for you, kind of like off topic a little bit, but tell me a little about this kind of. I saw on your Instagram about the scholarships that you're doing, so I'm really curious. I want to hear about that. So tell me what's going on with that.
Man, so I started my foundation December 13, 2013, and what's crazy is that date is my niece's birthday, December 13th, and I started my foundation. I'm always big on giving back to the community. Like that is one thing that I'm huge on, and you know, to be in this position. You know, God has blessed me. Like I said, blessings flow through you, not to you. So why not be a blessing to other people? So now with the Scholarship Foundation, we're doing the scholarship this year, which is the first year. We're giving out 2 scholarships, $2,500 each, to 2 seniors in the New Orleans area. Obviously, go on the website, justmaxoutfoundation.org, and you can see all the requirements to do the scholarships. We also do a supply drive for our 8th graders. So 8th graders, I believe, and I told you about Katrina, I think that's a very pivotal moment in people's life. 8th graders, like, you know, middle school, going to high school, and I chose that. So, okay, cool. We also give one student that's going to a private school $1,500 scholarship to help with the tuition that year. And we also give all the kids book bags with all supplies in it. And last year, we actually gave every student $50 just because. And one student, we gave him a surprise iPad and one surprise AirPods. So we're doing that every year. We're growing every year. You know, people has donated, man, just blessings. You know, some people around the league has donated and stuff like that. And we're all just giving back. Like in 2026, we're going to do our first one-day basketball camp. And we're just going to keep growing every year, man. Like I said, this was big with me, man. And when my mom retires and my father retires, I hope within the next year or two, they're going to run the foundation full time, and we're just going to keep adding on. We're going to do turkey drives for Thanksgiving. We're going to do Christmas. We're going to do everything. We're going to continue. This is not a 1 or 2 year thing. We're going to continue this. I love doing this, especially in my area, New Orleans. And then I hope to continue to expand. You know, my goal is to get down I-10, go from New Orleans to Baton Rouge to Lafayette with the college to Houston. You know, I got a Memphis guy now. We're going to try to get up to Memphis now. You know, it just giving me more and more ideas just to help out. And when my man gets to, Euro Cup and start making the big bucks, you know, we're going to merge. And then he going to start his foundation. And he's going to give back to the city of Memphis like I know he is. So that's what we doing, man. But just max out. That's why I got my chain right here, man. This is who I am. It's not just my foundation. It really is just who I am. Just max out. Everybody don't get the same opportunities. But max out every opportunity that you have. That is what I was saying. Success cannot be measured. And I mean that.
Love it. That's amazing. That's seriously inspiring stuff. And That's really dope. If we can be a projection of that at all, like that's dope. And we're in for it, and that's really amazing.
Right.
So before we wrap up, I mean, I just wanted to ask you guys just about being kind of a leader on a foreign team, like where you've been and the places you've played before. Now, as you're kind of entering the stage where you're a vet and you've been overseas for 7 years versus a guy who's overseas for his first year, you know, what are you telling a guy who's in year one, who's playing overseas, and you have this career and you have a bunch of different places to play? You know, you've mentioned a lot in this episode, a little piece of advice you're telling them, but from a guy who's day one, you know, you want a message that we have a lot of people who are listening and tuning into our show who are starting their careers and you know, interested in going overseas. So just tell them, you know, what piece of advice would you give them starting off?
Man, just get better every day. That's number one. Just get better every day. You're going to have good days. You're going to have bad days. It does not matter. As long as you do the best that you possibly can that day, that's all that matters. And enjoy the process. You know, Inky Johnson always say this: if the reward wasn't attached to what you're doing, would you still have the will of continuing doing this? And that's big. That's very, very true. Like, if you wasn't really getting this check, would you really be putting in this work? And that's just something I always say: just enjoy the moment, make connections, because at the end of the day, basketball will stop, but continue these connections and stuff like that. And just always, man, just be you. Be you. Don't change for nobody. Be you. Like I said, man, God has given us this opportunity to travel the world, make money for something that we'll do for free. That's what people don't realize. We would do this for free. You would go in the rec center and play basketball for free. We're getting paid for this. So at the end of the day, man, this is a good opportunity to have fun. You're traveling the world. You know, you're building connections and all that, man. So my advice, that's all it is, man. Just be you. Enjoy the process. And, man, that's really it, man.
It's good, dude. It's a strong message. A strong message.
Carlos, any advice coming out of your first year?
Stay consistent. I'm keep it like that. Just stay consistent. Especially like when things not going your way. The only thing you can count on is consistency. Like the stuff that you do every day, how you approach your profession or whatever it is you're doing. Like, just stay consistent.
For sure. I want to talk a little bit about the Winter League. What are you guys thinking about for the playoffs and the relegation round? You guys coming out on top?
Yeah, man. Yeah. We coming out on top, man. I stand on that. Y'all stand on that, man. We coming out on top. What you think, man?
I'm right behind you.
You better say that.
Any predictions for the playoffs?
Predictions, playoffs.
Are you guys planning on watching? Are you guys focused on the NBA playoffs?
Both.
Okay.
But man, it's good, man. I think Gil Boy gonna give Hapoel a run for their money. I think it's gonna be a good series. I think Hapoel gonna come on top, but I think it's gonna be a very, very good series personally. I got Maccabi coming out the other side. I got Herschel upsetting Halon. Who's the other one? Ness-Siona's
Maccabi.
Yeah, Maccabi gonna win that one.
Ramat Gan.
Who does they play? They play Jerusalem. I got Jerusalem sweeping Ramat Gan. Sweeping. I got them sweeping just because of the size. I got Hapoel versus Maccabi in the championship.
Which Hapoel?
Tel Aviv. Hapoel Tel Aviv.
Who's got that one?
Man, I got. It's gonna be a tough one, man. But man, Kata's my guy, man. That's my guy, man. That's one of the first people I ever talked to in Israel, man. Gave me some advice. I got to roll Katash, man.
All right,
Game three.
Hapoel's got that momentum right now.
They do. They rolling, and you know it's crazy. I love Joe, AB, Motley, man. I love all them guys, man. It's gonna be a fun series. I hope they hit it, get them some motivation too. But man, it's gonna be a great series, man. I think, and what's crazy, I think Floyd Mayweather gonna fly back out to see that game.
Ooh. No way,
man. I'm telling you, I think he's gonna come back, see that game. It's gonna be live. You know, they sharing the arena this year. Like, you don't know, them sharing that arena is crazy, bro. You really don't even know. Yeah. For them, man, it's gonna be crazy. That series, I think, the championship is gonna be crazy. I think just the most two competitive teams that both teams has had in a while.
I wouldn't count out Paul Jerusalem though. I mean, Jared Harper.
Oh, he legit. He legit.
This is an exclusive, guys. Get your parlays together.
Man, Wiley, man, them dudes, man. Carrington, you know, that's my guy. Carrington too. He always X Factor. Carrington's always X Factor, man. Him and Zeusman.
So Dino got his Israeli citizenship. Is that something you're looking to do at
Hey
some
man,
point?
I told him they want me to come on the national team. I definitely come. I told him this 4 years ago. Hey, I can play. I play basketball year round. Given the citizenship, come on, man.
All right, let's do it.
And then Mr. Memphis, I know your Grizzlies didn't do so well, but
I'm a Warriors fan, man.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Hey, y'all, hey, bro. Jimmy Butler put on. Y'all won that game.
Yeah.
Hey,
Y'all
man.
won that game.
Brandon Pajimski, man.
Hey, man.
I looked at the stats from that year. He led the team in college in points, rebounds, and assists.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's-
I think steals too,
And
and blocks.
he's a point guard at the end of the day,
6'3",
right?
6'3".
Well,
He was amazing.
you have the Warriors actually making a run this year.
Yeah. Yeah,
Man.
You can't count out Stephen Curry, man. You just can't.
You can't.
Or Jimmy.
Or Draymond.
Or
Or
Draymond.
Draymond.
I love Draymond, man. I love him. He got the stop last night. I seen the
Yeah.
highlights. He got the stop. Man, Draymond, he a psychopath, but I love him.
I saw this clip of Austin Rivers talking. He said how what separates the guys at the top of the league and
The
the
film.
other guys is the film. They how much they study. And Draymond and Steph, you know, and anyone can say what they want about Draymond, but at the end of the day, he's a scholar. He's a true NBA vet. You know.
He's a
High
first ballot Hall of
IQ
Fame.
guy.
He's a high IQ guy.
IQ.
People, if you know basketball, you know how valuable he really is. Like people, you know, obviously the moves, the points, you know, the normal fan, they're like, okay, yeah, you know, oh, he scores some of those points. Draymond is always been the key. Always been the key. Now, don't get me wrong. That licensed guy named Stephen Curry,
Pretty good.
he's him. Don't get me wrong about that. But Draymond, he makes everything go, and everybody that knows basketball knows that. I like him. They gonna lose the next game though.
Ooh.
They gonna lose in Houston. They gonna lose the next one.
We'll see.
Houston's tough.
Warriors at 5.
Yeah, so as we wrapped up here, we'd like to do a 24-second shot clock segment. We'll ask you some rapid fire questions. Maybe we'll do like a college 35-second shot clock because we got two guys here. So that's what we'll do. Let's do that. So we
Do
got
you have
I
a
got
shot
some,
clock?
some questions. I'll set up a shot clock for us, and we're gonna shoot you some quick questions.
I
one word
I have
answers.
one on my mind. I'm curious what y'all are gonna say.
All right. So
So we'll start with the vet.
All
all right.
cool.
All right?
Well, we'll ask a question. We'll get answer. Next question. How about
Okay.
that?
Or we should go
Question.
first and then
Bet.
second.
We'll do
and
that.
See who gets more.
We'll do that.
This is a competition.
Oh, we want to go questions here and then questions there?
Yeah.
All right, fine. So
It's a
24
competition.
seconds. 24 seconds straight up here for
Yes, sir.
Bryce.
24. Let's do it.
All right, ready?
Who's starting?
You start.
Winter League playoffs or NBA playoffs?
Win the league playoffs.
Favorite
Best-
NBA player growing up?
LeBron James.
Favorite NBA sneaker, basketball sneaker?
Giannis.
Pre-game meal?
2 egg and turkey sandwiches mixed with peppers.
Favorite basketball movie?
Oh, loving basketball.
Toughest player you've ever guarded?
Sean Long.
Forgotten NBA player?
Man.
That's your last one.
Forgotten NBA players.
Forgotten.
Kevin Martin.
Kevin Martin. Forgotten. They have to think about it.
Well,
though.
he forgot it.
We'll run it back. Well, we got questions for you now.
All
All right, you ready?
I don't know if I'm ready.
I'm going first then. Favorite music artist right now?
right. Young boy.
What would you be doing if you're not playing basketball?
Playing football.
Winter League playoffs or NBA playoffs?
NBA playoffs.
Clutch 3 or clutch steal?
3.
First thing you eat when you go back home?
Oh, Zaxby's.
Favorite basketball sneaker?
John Morant.
Forgotten NBA player?
Brandon Roy.
Oh.
Okay, but he had time to think, though. Yeah, we appreciate you guys coming on.
Yes,
and
sir.
Best of luck.
Sure.
We're following the tournament y'all are playing in, so we're really hoping for you guys and Netanya as a whole. So we're big fans.
Hey,
We appreciate you guys coming on, sharing your stories, and looking
For
forward to
sure,
it.
man. Appreciate the Baseline Podcast, man.
Appreciate
Lock
you
in,
guys,
man.
man.
In Israel, lock in, man. Hey, my New Orleans people, my Memphis people. Hey, lock into the Baseline Podcast. Make sure y'all following everything, man. Show some love and all that. and really learn about this OT stuff, especially in injury and winter league, man.
Thank you very much.